little bit about
Okay.
yourself and your accomplishments so we can have a grid, for the rest of this conversation.
Okay, so hi everybody. Again, my name is Candice Savage. It is not a stage name. That is my real last name. Um, I am 30 years old. I've been dancing since I was about 3, and I've just started to get a little bit more into it professionally about, I want to say 5 years ago. I've been able to dance with Beyonce, Missy Elliot, Ciara, Janelle Monae. Um, I've been able to do music videos, TV shows, movies. I haven't done a commercial yet. I'm still waiting on that, manifestation to happen, but it's coming. But other than that, I've been dancing for a very long time. I'm trained in everything except for ballroom. And that's me. I'm a Chicago native, born and raised south side of Chicago,
Oh, sorry.
and I moved to Atlanta, and then I moved to LA last year. So,
Wow. That is so cool. So can you tell us where your dance journey began? Like, how did you start dancing? Was it something your parents made you do? Like, how did you get into it in the first place?
so my mom put me in dance classes super early because I guess I was just a busybody and I was just always moving and doing stuff. And she also needed somewhere to put me while she was at work. So she put me in dance classes, and I guess it just came naturally. So since the age of 3, I've just never stopped dancing. Yeah.
Wow. So you mentioned all of your accomplishments, and you don't get there by accident. Like, you got to be really motivated to do that.
Yes.
So how did you know that dance, like, above anything else, was what you were, like, meant to do? Like, you dabble in, we dabble in things growing up. We dabble in, I don't know, I did the chess team. I was in the band for some odd reason,
Right.
I just did a lot of random things. But for you, how did you know dance was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be?
Well, honestly, I didn't know dance was going to be my
Wow.
thing because growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer. So like that was like my goal. Like I was like, I'm going to law school. This is what I want to do. I was just really, really good at dance. But every time I tried to quit, it was like God was like, okay, you keep on trying to do other things, and that's not it.
Wow.
So I auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance when I was just graduated high school, and I
Wow.
didn't make it, and it crushed me. And I was like, oh, I'm never dancing again. I hate dance. It's whack. Like I was just so hurt because I just couldn't understand it. That was my first time dealing with like industry people or anything, because what they show you on TV is nothing close to what you're experiencing behind the scenes. There are like at least
Mm.
3 or 4 auditions before you even see a judge to audition. So that was new to me. And after I quit, I was just, like sitting at home and not doing anything, working. And then my old dance teacher, he called me to become a dance teacher at a middle school for kids who didn't want to take PE. So it was either you take PE or you take dance. So I was like, okay,
Wow.
I'll do that, just to get me back into it. And then next thing you know, I auditioned for the Chicago Lovables at the time. And I didn't at that time you had to do like an application first before you auditioned. And my mom sent off this application, and I didn't even know. Next thing you know, I have an audition to dance for this team, and I was like, okay. So she kept pushing me to dance, and I got that. And another thing is, in 8th grade, my high school teacher, my grammar school teacher, she filled out an application for me to go to Curie High School, which is a performing arts high school. I was already enrolled in Simeon, like I was going to Simeon for school, but she took me out of Simeon and put me in a performing arts school. Like everybody was just kind of
Wow.
like making moves around me that I had no clue about, but I mean they all ended up working for my good. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. That is so awesome. And just seeing, just well, hearing your journey. But I remember back when we did Triumphant Love together, it was something that you said that just really spoke of your character. I think you were doing like a side job at some
Oh,
restaurant,
girl.
and you were like, I don't care what nobody say, but I'm gonna make it. Like I'm gonna work these tables, but I'm gonna make it. And so to see you right now, like I'm like, come
Thank
on,
you.
like I am just so proud of you,
Thank
and
you.
I've been blessed to see just how you've been elevated,
Thank
girl.
you.
Um,
That was woo.
yeah,
That was a long time ago. I was working at Steak and Shake, y'all. Steak and Shake. I
yes.
had 3 jobs. Three
Wow, that
jobs.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So that kind of leads into my next question. When was your or how did you end up at like your first big audition? Like um I know you danced here and there, but like yeah, how did you get to your first like major audition?
Actually, my first major audition industry wise was for Empire that shoots in
Wow.
Chicago. So there was like this random. I don't. Did you send me that? I think I don't know if you sent me something in my messages. I have to go back. I feel like you or someone sent me something about an audition in Chicago for Empire. Debbie Allen was there, somebody else was there, and her assistants. And that was literally my first like big audition. Had no idea. I was dancing for the Lovables, and I just kind of went and I was like, well, let's just see. Let's just see what happens.
Wow.
And it was so many people there. And I was so nervous. Like a lot of people don't know, I'm not shy. I have an outgoing personality, but when it comes to being around lots of people, I'm just kind of like, whew, get a little bit of anxiety or stuff like that. So we had an audition in Chicago, um, and she put us in a line. She was like, okay, let me see you do 2 double pirouettes into an arabesque penché to promenade to some other thing. And I fell out of my double, because I was so nervous. And she looked at me and she said, you want to try again? And I said, I said, yes, please. But it was so weird because a lot of people were like just falling and like, but she never asked no one else to go again. She just looked at me and she was like,
Wow.
do you want to try again? And I said, yes,
Wow.
please. And then ended the night at this time, I think it was like 10 o'clock. I was there from
Wow.
10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And she booked us on my first job, and it was Empire. Debbie Allen. Yeah.
Wow. That is so awesome. So, just curious, I'm sure you still have to audition, from time to time.
Yeah.
What advice, like what kind of mentality do you have to have like going into an audition? Like if you were talking to someone who's never like had a audition experience, like what kind of mentality do you have to have like going into that space? Like what would you say?
Go into it as you're going to class. That's
Mm,
something that I've learned um, from the auditions that I've been on. Go into it as if you're taking a free class, or go into it as if you're going to have fun. Because if you go into it like, I gotta book this job, I gotta do this, you aren't allowing yourself to just be in the moment. You're not allowing yourself to get the steps because you're so focused on the end product of it that you're not being present in the process. So
wow.
you just have to go in being confident in yourself. There are going to be so many different dancers. Everybody is different, but you could be special. Like there are special people all over this world. So you can look at a girl or someone who has bot mas to the ceiling or behind her neck, you know what I mean? But maybe the job doesn't call for that. And, just going
Mm,
into it in a good space and knowing that whatever is for me won't miss me, and whatever I did
mm,
not get is a learning experience. You learn from your auditions. You learn how to freestyle. You learn that less is more. You learn being simplistic is what catches people's eye. sometimes when you're in these auditions and you try to do the most and you do all of these tricks, yeah, but you ain't got the choreo. So you done did all of these tricks, but you ain't caught the choreography. You know what I'm saying? Just be attentive and do what the choreographer is asking you to do. You know what I mean? It's really more simple than what you think, and it's also never take it personal.
That's
That
good.
is the key for anything.
Wow.
Is don't take it personal, because it's not that, oh, they hated me, they hated what I had to offer. No, you just didn't fit for the vision that they have. Now that does not mean do your best, because there are going to be multiple projects. You know what I mean? Like, so always do your best, and knowing that, okay, this is what I went in, I killed it, I think I killed it, and then I didn't get the job. Okay, great. But you never know. They keep people's headshots. So, yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's some gold right there. Wow. So I have a question. So have you ever struggled with anxiety or fear, like when it's come to like accomplishing your dreams? Like, have you ever struggled with it? If you have an example that you're okay to share, like, would you share? Because I know that I feel like in today's culture, like, not only does everyone feel like they're alone, well, yeah, everyone feels like they're alone. So many people feel like their thoughts are just so overwhelming, and they're the only one going through what they're
Mhm.
going through. But I feel like sometimes just hearing like that you're not alone helps you just get free of all that gunk that kind of builds itself up in your mind. So like, just as an artist, in a cutthroat industry, like, have you ever struggled with that? And then how have you like overcome, just with dealing with that?
Um, a lot of times I still struggle with anxiety to this day. But the first time I really felt like I had like anxiety and like fear to go after something was more so when I moved to Atlanta from Chicago, from being with my mom and like actually just pursuing the dream. Like I would watch all of these music videos and all of these TV shows, and I would talk to people that, I thought were close and be like, oh, I can't wait till I'm on stage with B. Oh, I can't wait till y'all see me dancing with this person. And people sometimes will laugh, and then sometimes people will be like, girl, I can't wait to see you either. And I think majority of our fears come from, self, but sometimes they come from our environment of not seeing
Mm,
people do what we want to do, or feeling as though that our dreams are too big. If you feel as though like,
wow.
if your dream right now is untouchable, you're on the right track. Like if you feel like I can't reach it, you're doing right. You doing great. You know what
Come
I'm saying? So just having that fear of being like, okay, they're looking for 5, 10 girls for a job. I'm 5'4", so I'm going. Like I'm going. Yeah, you never know. You might meet somebody that can be my bookend and book me, or just pursuing a career as an artist, as a dancer. It's just fearful all in itself, because you never know what people are looking for, and you work so hard
wow.
on yourself to create the perfect vision of who you want to, put out to the world, that when someone doesn't receive it in such a way, you can be like, oh, well, maybe this ain't for me. Maybe I'm not supposed to be
Mm,
dancing. I'm not booking the jobs that I want to book, but maybe you haven't trained enough for that. Or maybe they're not
mm,
ready for what you have to offer yet. Maybe they're not in that space. So
wow.
I still get
Wow.
fear. I mean, colorism is a thing in this industry. So me being the chocolate girl, I'm like, what y'all gonna do? What's happening? Let me read the room a little bit. You know what I'm saying, to see what I have to offer, and then that's when I dip into my bag of, oh, okay, they're looking for contemporary girls. Let me pull out my technique. Oh, okay, they want a little set. Okay, let me dig in my bag of things that I can do. You know what I'm saying? So I think
Yeah.
that's just in general, it's tough, but a lot of meditation, a lot of
Mm,
prayer, a lot of grounding has really like helped me with my fear, because even now, like, I'm like, oh my God, we're not dancing, we're not doing this. Are they going to forget about me? I'm not doing stuff on Instagram, or I'm not posting as many videos as all of these influencers. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh, they're going to forget about me. But I feel like I've always made a great impression to where they're like, hey, Candice, you know, I'm not necessarily auditioning for things anymore unless it's a situation of, oh, the director wants to see you in person. Let's we have these options. Let's see you in person type of situation.
Wow. I'm actually glad you said that, because this is a question I wanted to ask you. When it comes to networking, how important would you say networking is? Because I think, I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of times we feel like we have to pave our own
Mm-hmm.
way. And in ways, there are things you have to do by yourself. But I think there's also the flip side of, like, who you know is gold. And if you don't know nobody, like, you ain't gonna make it nowhere. Like, and so we can
Yes.
just have certain owner mentalities. Like, so how important is it to have a network, to build a network?
I think it's half and half, because I didn't do a lot of networking, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I can give you a perfect example. So last year, I moved to Atlanta in 2015. I met different people, but that was because I was always in class, just trying to learn, just trying to, my goal was like, okay, I'm gonna move to Atlanta, train for a year, then start auditioning, because I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Right.
But it didn't work out that way. I was there for like a couple months, went on my first tour, and I was like, oh, hold on, I don't know about this stuff. This is hard. This is new, and I just did my best at everything that I was given. And during those moments where I was on tour and I was meeting new people, I was just, myself, and just a good person, I kind of think. And I think I'm pretty funny. I think I'm pretty cool, laid back. So, people
You are.
remember those things. And I remember in Atlanta, I met this woman. Her name is Kiki Eli. I will forever love her, along with Jamaica. But I tore my MCL last year. Yeah, nobody
Oh,
knew
wow.
that one. Girl, I was out for the count. I tore my
Oh,
MCL, and I was out in February. In April, I got a call like, I just got the best call about you. Pack your bags. I'm like, pack my bags? Where am I going? I'm injured. I just started physical therapy. And it was Jerry Slaughter, who is Christina Aguilera's choreographer, called my mentor, Kiki Eli. And he was like, do you know this
wow.
girl? And she was like, yes, I know her. She's great. She's this, she's that. And I had no idea. My dream was to never work for Christina Aguilera, like, never even thought that I was capable of working for her, because it's a different genre of music, a different genre of people. Like, I just was like, okay, that's fine. And they called, and that's the networking process. If you never know who's talking about you in rooms that you don't even know if the doors are open for you. So when she told me, I was like, Jerry Slaughter, like, you want for Christina Aguilera? I was shook, because I was also doing assistant work on a show called P Valley. But
Wow.
I was working, but I was still injured. And they were like, it's okay. The show is in May. So I couldn't get to
Wow.
LA. I was like, you know what? I turned the job down. I was like, I can't get to LA in enough time to start the rehearsals. So I'm gonna pass. And everybody thought I was like losing my mind, but I'm a person. I'm like, if it's not going smoothly, I don't need to be doing it. If it's not going, like, if
Wow.
everything isn't falling in line, it must not be meant for me to happen. I can't keep forcing
Wow.
it. So my agent and my mentor and my other mentor, Jamaica, they were like, you're not gonna take the job? I was like, no, I'm gonna stay here in Atlanta. Like, it's fine. Like, it'll come back around if it's supposed to. And they were like, no, let's get you a plane ticket. So they bought my plane ticket. She paid me for like an extra 2 weeks of rehearsals. I wasn't even in Atlanta, just so I could have money while I was in LA. And
Wow.
then that one job and that one network, or that one conversation, has led me to move to LA. just from working with Christina
Wow.
for the year, for that, from, what is it, May to March of this year. Yeah.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
crazy, man. Now that's a perfect example of what is for you is for you.
Yes.
And that's really encouraging to hear because so many times you hear in the industry just how dispensable people are.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I can find another whatever.
Mhm.
But the fact that that door was held open for
I
you,
was
like,
shook. I was like, "Y'all sure?" Because I mean, it was a day after rehearsal started on a Monday. I got the call on a Friday night, and we were trying to figure it out. I was like, okay, I can use my frequent flyer miles, but that wasn't enough. And then I was like, okay, well, I can stay with my friend in LA, which all of that, when I got to LA, I was okay. It was just getting there. And I was like, I'm not paying $800 for a flight, and then I have no food. I just was trying to be smart about it. I mean, my knee is still kind of janky. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
you couldn't tell, Lord
ooh,
Jesus, you
I was
can't
like,
tell.
look, I really prayed over that knee because I was in like half of my physical therapy. I was like, okay. And my physical therapist was like, you're clear to dance, but you got to be careful. And I was like, okay. But that was one of the best moments of 2019 for sure.
Wow. So does that answer the question? Because I was going to ask you what's been your most memorable experience. Like, was that it, or is there one
I
that's been
have
like that has
so
like
many. But honestly, now that what's my most memorable? There's so many things that has happened. I I would possibly say probably Christina because
wow.
being the only black girl in the set was so dope to me, like culturally. You see Christina Aguilera, and you know she has her token, but I never knew that I would be a part of that camp. And just a couple of women have come up to me since then and be like, oh my God, I never thought I could even audition for her. Like, she's my favorite artist, or you're representing us so beautifully. You know what I mean? And I'm not up there being a different person. Like, I'm
Mhm.
always 100% me. Like, I can't be anybody else. So just having an injury to booking one of the biggest jobs of my life to being able to use the funds that I made from that job to move to LA, a place I've always wanted to live.
Wow.
I live here, and now just working with new people that I never thought I'd get a chance to work with. You know, it's just kind of like, dang, I'm living in LA. I ain't on the street. I ain't got to go through the craziness that you hear people talk about so negatively when they move to LA. Like, it was this, is that, is
Mhm.
that. Like, you know, I'm grateful for sure.
Wow. That is so awesome. So what has performing looked like in the COVID season? Like, have you been able to dance? Has it been on lockdown? Like, what has it been
In the
like?
beginning, I was a little shook. I was like, ooh, what's happening? What's going on? No one was really working. Everything was at a standstill. A couple of artists that I've worked with gave me money to survive, you know what I mean? Not knowing. I've worked during this pandemic. I'm like a little bit shocked. Not shocked, but like I had those moments of like, oh my God, I'm not working. But I would say since about June, June or July, I've been working consistently. It hasn't been as much as I usually work. However, it's been like I'll be on a job, but it'll last for 3 weeks, and then I'll be off, or I'll go to the next job, or been able to work with some new people. And I was kind of sad about the pandemic, but since I've been dancing forever and I've been working so consistently, I was like, "Ooh, I get to rest. I
Yes.
get to rest.
Yes.
I can be at home in my space. I can decorate my home. I can, be cool, calm, collected. I ain't got to get up and be up at 4 a.m. and get off at 12 a.m. So a part of
Yes.
it was a blessing. And I've been working. I just did The Voice. It aired yesterday. Yeah, I've been working with them. Um, I have a couple of things coming out in December. Well, end of December. I've done choreographed a music video, um, and I've been working with an artist named Doja Cat. So you know, I've been kind of working.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is so dope, man.
thanks.
Wow. Okay. So what is, and we're bringing it to a close, but what do you look forward to most, like when this whole pandemic is over?
Okay, cause God, what's going on? Help us. What I look forward to is just honestly more unity. Um, within the dance community. You know what I'm saying? Like more knowledge, more love, more, just people inspiring each other and not being so, not necessarily catty, but speaking up for ourselves to say, hey, we deserve this. Hey, we deserve more. Hey, this is unfair. I feel uncomfortable. Just being able to have someone have our backs, just in all aspects, just not in dance, but, generally with friends, with family. I'm just praying that it's smooth sailing. I pray for a lot of healing. I pray for a lot of mental stability, because a lot of people don't also talk about mental health in the industry. Mental health is, it's hard everywhere, but when you consistently are hearing no, 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 and you have mean people making decisions
Wow.
that you think are for you, and no, no, it's okay. Like, don't worry about them. Please, I'm telling you, don't worry about the people who got something negative to say, because, they just
Wow.
can't see the vision. You know what I mean? You just got to be around people who see the same light in you that's in you. So, just
Wow.
being able to, my prayer this year was, God, let me work in environments that are conducive to who I am evolving into, instead of being
Wow.
like, oh, I want to work for Beyonce. Oh, I want to work for whoever. And then you get there and you looking like, oh, this ain't really what I thought it was going to be. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Just speaking in
come on.
general, like, we want to be a part of things so much, not understanding that maybe that camp can't appreciate the light that you bring, or can't, they got some demons going on over there, or you just never know, because this industry is very cutthroat. However, now I just be like, God, just put me in the space where I feel safe, where I don't feel like me being dark skinned is bad, or put me in a space where me having natural hair is going to flourish, like things that are just something that makes me feel good, and people don't make you feel little than what you are, because in most cases when people are speaking to you from a negative space, is based off of how they feel about themselves, or they can be intimidated by you, and you're like, what? I look up to you. I what's happening? And then you meet them, you meet choreographers, and it puts a bad taste in your mouth because they're not the same people that you thought they were. So just just praying for more love, praying for people not to idolize no one just based off of who they work with, instead of love them based off of their character and not by what they do. You know what I mean? Like what their
Mm.
job is. Okay,
Wow.
you
Wow.
choreograph for Miguel or Rihanna. That doesn't mean that you have the right to be a bad person, like to speak crazy to me, like what? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
just more love, just more, just it's gonna get right. I mean, I'm gonna speak up. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Yeah, I'm gonna say what I have to say. One thing about me, I'm gonna ask some questions. So I'm asking questions. So, but that's it.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So my closing question is, what advice would you give to those who desire to be in the industry? Like, okay, I want to be there. I feel like I'm supposed to be there. What advice would you give to those people?
Stay true to you, and just be open to new things. And when I mean that, like, just like I know that you're a beautiful dancer, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people get so stuck in their own ways of feeling like, oh, I know I'm gonna tear it up, but you know, you have some people that are really here to help you and get you to the next level. So I think that for dancers who want to be in this industry, you got to have some very, very, very tough skin of not taking everything personal, um, and just being confident in who you are and what you have to offer, and just doing the work. Now it's a little different because of social media and people are being booked through social media, and I don't know how that lifestyle goes. You know what I mean? Because all the connections that I've made were before social media happened, really. Um, but also kind of play the game. You know, use social media to your advantage. Put out the work. You can put out what you love, and then, okay, if there's a popular song out, do what you love to that song. Kind of like flip it instead of feeling like, oh, I have to do this. This song is out now. I have to do the exact same dance. No, you can use the same song, but you can do what you would do to it and flip the script. So it'll give other people a different perspective instead of going down your timeline seeing the same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing. You know what I'm saying? All day, every day. But just stay true to yourself, stay prayed up. Ooh, please, 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 please. Cause I'm telling you, some days you'll really feel like I'm done with this. Bye. I gotta go, gotta blast. I'm over it. Y'all playing with me and I gotta get out of here. But staying true to yourself and just doing what you need to do to become a better version of you and not of what someone else is projecting on you. Of what somebody, oh, I think you would look better with, no, I'm okay like this. Let's just figure out how to enhance what I already have instead of changing it completely, you know. So I just think staying truthful, staying authentic, staying prayed up, meditation, and knowing that if the check is not there, it'll come. If it's supposed to happen. I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of things. I mean, I know it was God. I know the universe always has my back, but it's a lot of stuff that has happened in my career to where I'm just like confused. I'd be so confused at how I got there because I didn't audition for it. I don't know anybody in the room. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm here now. Let me just show what I can do. Let me just be me. Let me just be full out and just be observant. And also, whenever you do get the time or the space to be in the rooms with people that you love, focus on being in the room. Don't focus on being the loudest. Don't focus on thinking that you have to say something to be noticed. Being observant and learning from people is the best way to figure things out, mostly, so you can see, oh, this is how this works. Oh, this is what they like. Oh, this is how they go about this. Oh, okay. More so than being the loudest in the room or the most full out. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can be too full out and then it's like, ooh, you got to pull it back. You know what I'm saying? But be you wholeheartedly. But I think that if you want to go for this and you think, and you, not even if you think, if you believe that this is where you're supposed to be, um, try to connect yourself with people who can help you. And if people don't want to help you, it's okay, because I'm telling y'all, God will find a way. I'm so serious. It's I be thinking like, oh, I asked this person to help me, they didn't want to help me, and then 2 weeks later, someone's contacting me like, hey, let's just meet, let's session, and then I go to the session and Jamaica Craft is there, or Neo is there, or oh, Usher's there, and I'm just like, hold on, I didn't ask for this, but I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be at the session, you know, and then just being yourself. Always be yourself. Always be true to yourself and stand on what you believe, because they'll try you. You know, you might have to bring the paws out a little bit, but you know, you could bring it back and just like, all right, y'all try me. I'm just going ahead, go to lunch, and I see y'all when I come back.
Wow. Oh man, that is so rich. Well, you practice what you preach,
Thank
girl. So thank
you.
you for being
No,
you.
thank you
You
for
are
listening, and thank you for
you are
having me
awesome.
on. I'm grateful, appreciative, you know.
Oh man, thank you for coming on, for offering your time. I am so honored to have you here. If you're still watching, can y'all just drop a
Thanks,
clap emoji for
guys.
Candice? Just such a
Thank
queen.
you.
Well, I won't keep you. I just want to say thank you for, just dropping this wealth of knowledge on us. I am so grateful for you. And I just speak
Thank
blessings as you
you.
continue on your professional journey. I expect to see even greater
Thank
things
you
for
so
you.
much. I received it. I received it.
All right. Well, have
All
a
right,
good
you have
night.
a better one.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.